Mrs. Thatch. Mrs. Thatch. The Dodd delusion. And literally, oh no, I've got my tweaked fiction. So we're nearly there. We're nearly there. The Dodd delusion. Do you see what I did there? That's a little play on words.
Yeah.
There's a little play on words. If you've not encountered a play on words before, that's an example. Patrick had run out of cigarettes. John Player Special was his brand. They were his brand because he had played the John card by drinking out of the toilet with a tea towel on his head. Don't ask. I'm out of fags. The nurse cleared his throat. You'll have to wait until someone can take you to the shop. Patrick resumed pacing. He was on a protest march, he told himself. Suddenly he saw someone he knew from college on the telly. Fucking hell, I know him. I went to college with him. The nurse just nodded slowly. The soap opera held his attention for a moment, then he felt a ball in his stomach and resumed pacing. He tried to avoid any negative energy with Stuart. Stuart had cut the words, "I want to die," in his arm, and even Patrick, who'd seen some shit in his time, found this a little off-putting. Mary came into the smoking room. Her hair was white. At least it was, apart from the yellow nicotine stains. Patrick bent down and kissed her on the head. Patrick, will you go speak to Dr. Goole now? Dr. Goole. Very ordinary man, despite spooky name, thought Patrick. He kissed me on the head, Mary called out. All right, Mary, soothed the nurse. Dr. Goole was a chubby man. You could say he was nice and cuddly, but Patrick found him condescending and supercilious. Perhaps he was afraid of Patrick, not scared of violence, just that his sense of self was threatened in a way he couldn't put his finger on. So how do you think you're doing, Patrick? Good. When can I leave? Well, that depends on how much progress you've made. Are you sleeping? Well, I can't keep my legs still because of the restlessness from the haloperidol. Am I going to get any talking therapy? Are you taking your procyclidine? That should stop the side effects. Yes, I'm taking a procyclidine. If I don't take what you give me, you won't let me out. See, it's that kind of comment that makes me reluctant to discharge you. You need to realise that you're ill and that you need medication. How am I ill, though? Well, you walked naked into Greg's the Baker's and told them you were the son of Ken Dodd. Well, I got a bit carried away. That doesn't make me ill. Could you explain to me why you did that then, Patrick? I had a vision that Ken Dodd told me that he created the universe with his tickle stick. And that the feathers on his stick were like the ever-repeating patterns in a Mandelbrot set, and that the pattern was a joke that made his existence quiver with delight, and that we suffer that we may laugh. And that I was sent as his son to cry for your bins. Cry for my bins? Nobody knows what it's like to be a dustbin in Shaftesbury with hooligans. Should I know that song? The Bill Hicks gag, but it relates to a time when I felt compassion for my dad's dustbin. I cried for it. Dr. Goole raised a shrill eyebrow and bore a crooked tooth and a fat mouth. I see. And so? And so I walked into Greg's the Baker's and told them I was son of Dodd. Naked? I suppose. Why naked? Got their attention, didn't it? Do you still think you're the son of Ken Dodd? Maybe not his son, but I think it was a true vision. I don't think I'd get naked again. But you still think the universe was created by Ken Dodd? Is that really so unbelievable? I mean, people think Jesus created the universe. Well, people believe God created the universe. Jesus is the Son of God. Do you believe in God? No, I'm an atheist. Do you consider Christianity to be a delusion? No, let me explain. I know why. Dr. Goole made a disapproving sort of swallow face. If a belief is appropriate to someone's background, then it's not a delusion. Certain tribes in Africa believe in spiritual possession, whereas if someone in our society thinks they're possessed, they're deluded. Right, I see. Do you? Yes, it all makes sense. Because I'm not from Diddyland, then I'm deluded, even though it's in fact true that Dodd created the cosmos. You're missing the point. Am I? I'm afraid you're going to be here for up to 3 months. I need to pace. I'm sorry? I'm restless, I need to pace. I'm afraid we're not finished. Could you stand and shuffle from foot to foot? Dr. Goole smiled crookedly, and Patrick stood in the tiny office and shuffled. I'm going to get to one of the nurses to set aside 5 minutes each day for you to talk about your problems. Patrick didn't think 5 minutes would be enough, but he wasn't in a position to argue. And just as a final little treat, I was invited. I posted some stupid comment on a friend's Facebook, and then he said, very good. I think it was a joke haiku that wasn't actually a haiku. I won't repeat it because I can't remember it. It was a quite funny joke, even if I do say so myself. So he invited me to enter the British Science Fiction Federation Tweet Science Fiction competition. So you had to write a science fiction story in, what was it, 140 characters? Something like 140 characters. So these are the results. The mad scientist was led to the gallows, to the wall. His crime? Asking where all the nothing had come from before the bang. Bang! Professor Omnicronic massaged his mutant. Increased life expectancy is not the aim of progress, it is a side effect. Prepare the genocide ray. If there are no robots or zombies in heaven, then I don't want to go, she said. The universe conspired to make it so. Vincent van Robot painted in 8-bit. The state bot called him mad, but gave him just enough electricity to function. Tweetercron 17 blew a circuit. It was too late to save the humans. He had been programmed, as he had been programmed, what now was his function? And I'm spent. So, I don't know how we're doing for time. Well, was I on for like 45 minutes, do you think?
55.
55, okay. Minutes. So that's the secret of good humour is time.
Not gone over your time then.
No. So we've got this film to show. It's about 15 minutes. The proposal was that we would set it playing, and if anyone had seat fatigue or was just sick of my shit, basically, then they could go get a cup of tea, have a chat over there. Yeah. Or we can just set it playing, but people can either watch or go get a cup of tea. You don't have to. You don't have to watch.
Yeah, we'll switch it on 10 minutes. And,
so we'll have a quick break.
Yeah.
We'll have a quick break. Okay, let's have a quick break then.
And then
but thank you for your patience indulging me in this feat of self-aggrandisement. Did Billy like it?
An audience with Povey.
Thank you.
They've got it on there.
And thank you, Ewan, for doing this for Oxfam as well.
Yeah.
So thank you, Ewan.
It's a pleasure. I really enjoyed it. You love the audience. You barely heckled me. Philip has made the list.
Yeah.
Philip has made the list. That's official.
I've got a question, Rob.
Yes. Okay.
When you went in the bakery half naked on the apron, did actually believe that you had more than your share of happiness?
It's not actually necessarily oh right, is that what you're saying? Well, all I would say, Phil, is that in terms of filmmaking, as you see from my camera, I've always worked with what I've got, which is certainly what my ex-girlfriends have told me. So in answer to your question, so I'm going to take a break.
And if anyone can give these changes well